Hello and welcome to the Chain Smoking Writers channel, where we share the myths, legends and histories of the Chinese people, from the first creators to the last imperial dynasty. More than 6,000 years of stories, one video at a time. My name is Apingo and I am the Chain Smoking Writer. In previous episodes, we have gone through Pan Gu, the creator, to Huang Di, the founder of Chinese civilization, and we are now in the middle of the post-Huang Di years. We have spoken about 3 of the 5 tiaks or sage kings of ancient China, and today we are going to talk about the 4th one. What did he do to continue the golden age of prehistoric China, and why was he recognized as one of the best and most enlightened rulers of ancient China? Now, if you are interested in stories like these and the videos that are available on the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. And I look forward to have you on board with us on this journey through time. Now, the protagonist of today's story is Yao, or Yao the Great, Yao the High King, Yao the Sage King. Seems like the Chinese people can't have enough suffixes or titles to give to Yao, as he was considered to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rulers of ancient China. And Yao was a younger son of Di Ku, which we mentioned in the previous episode. He was a younger son of Di Ku, born to the consort Qingdu. Now, it was said that when Qingdu went boating with her parents, a great wind rose above the waters and churned the red clouds above into the shape of a dragon that swirled and danced around the boat before it dissipated. Now, that very same night, as Qingdu was falling asleep, another great wind rose, and a red dragon swooped in and pounced on her. I mean, I would have died of fright right then, but apparently Qingdu was not that much different. She fainted from the fright. And when she woke up, she found that the red dragon had left a painting for her. Yeah. And the painting was of a man with ruddy red pear-shaped face, delicate eyebrows, and hair that flowed gently down his shoulders. Don't worry, I'm not writing a romance novel here or anything. Now, beside this portrait was written the words, "Blessed by the heavens." So Qingdu kept the painting, and she quickly realized that she was pregnant. And after 14 months of pregnancy, yeah, don't ask me, I don't know why they have all these weird pregnancy terms back in the days, and 3 years, 10 years, 14 months, 9 months, 3 days, yeah, what have you. Don't ask me, man, I really have no idea why that's the case. But it's a myth, it's a story, so let's just go with it. 14 months of pregnancy, Qingdu gave birth to a healthy baby boy whose features actually resembled the man in the painting that she got from the red dragon. And that was the birth of Yao. So we don't really know a lot about the childhood of Yao, but I presume it will be along the lines of other myths. They were born with supreme intellect and great virtues, blah blah blah. But however, we skip forward a few years in the story. When Di Ku passed away, the throne was passed to his older son Zhi, and at the age of 13, Yao already has a reputation of being diligent and smart, and thus his brother Zhi, who took over the throne, asked for his assistance in governing the realm. Zhi, to be very honest, was a mediocre ruler at best, while Yao was known to be compassionate and displayed great skills in administration. And he also had a very good eye for talent and attracted many capable people to help him in governing the state. And so he soon earned the respect of local leaders, regional chiefs, and he was beloved by the people for the exceptional manner that he governed the kingdom. So after 9 years as a ruler, Zhi felt that he was neither as virtuous or as capable as his brother, and thus he decided that he would abdicate the throne to his younger brother, for the good of the realm. Now, Yao was an extremely diligent and frugal man, and he would only eat from very rough earthenware. Some would say that the quality of his utensils are, not even half as good as those used by the poorest peasants under his rule. He ate very simple foods, simple fares of rough grain and wild vegetables. He is not ostentatious by any stretch of the imagination. Basically, you could say that he eat to live. As long as he kept him going, he'll eat it. Yeah. His palace, Yao's palace. Now, you would think that the palace of a ruler ruling a civilization in the middle of a golden age would be grand and majestic and, made of exotic materials. Now, that's where you're wrong. In fact, rather than being grand and majestic, Yao's palace, if you can even call that, was little more than a reed hut. Basically just a shelter made of reeds with walls that barely kept the winds out. And he lived there, he stayed there. And he wore clothes that were woven from rough kudzu fiber. It's a type of a plant fiber. So he did not wear silks, he did not wear wools or cotton. He wear rough plant fiber clothes. And when the weather turned cold, he only covered himself with an old tattered piece of deer hide. And that's all he had to keep himself warm in the winter. Now, in order to keep an ear close to the people that he ruled, Yao set up a drum outside the Imperial Court. So anyone who had any suggestions or complaints could beat the drum to get a personal audience with him. And he set up these wooden posts along the main roads, throughout the land. And anyone who had grievances or complaints about their local officials, or even if they have complaints and grievances against Yao himself, they could nail anonymous feedback on these posts. And these complaints would be collected, and Yao would go through them personally to solve the issues, the myriad of issues raised. And this is basically the earliest record of whistleblowers, I guess that's what we'll call them now. But of course, in the context of these people, they will be more like, post nailers. Now, not only was Yao diligent, frugal, and highly respected, I think one of the main reasons why he was so respected and so well regarded amongst historians and academics was the fact that Yao took responsibility and he took ownership of the land, of the realm, of the people that he ruled over. He was famously quoted as saying, "If a single one of my subjects starve, it is my fault that he is starving. If one of my subjects is suffering from the cold, it is my fault for him freezing. And if one of my subjects breaks the law, it is my fault that he has to commit a crime." So a while ago, we mentioned that Yao also had a great eye for talent. So apart from being a wise ruler himself, we all know that nobody can accomplish any great feats alone. It's usually a team. And Yao was no exception. He was assisted by many capable people. Shun was the minister of land, Qi was the minister of war, Hou Ji was the minister of agriculture. And with such a capable team led by this exceptional leader, they were able to unite the people and lead them out of any obstacles that they come across, anything that they face, be it floods or droughts or other natural disasters which would really trouble the people back then. Yao promoted education and he simplified the laws to make them more easily understood by the people and more easily followed. And he reduced taxes to relieve the burden of the people, which in turn allowed the people to grow and flourish in their individual lives. He set up observation stations around the land and he appointed 4 brothers or 4 clan siblings, Xi Zong, Xi Shu, He Zong and He Shu, as official astronomers to study the stars and refine the way they calculate the passage of time. And in their observations, the astronomers also found out that they could track certain weather patterns, and they became an early, albeit rudimentary, Met service, gathering vital information, and that greatly aided the people in terms of farming decisions, like when I should sow the seeds, and when are the rains coming, when is there going to be less rainfall and less water, stuff like that. And we will actually talk about this in a future episode, so keep your eyes out. Now, in his later years, Yao's greatest worry was actually about succession. Now, he had a son named Danzhu, and how can I put this nicely? Well, he was an incompetent waste of oxygen, let's put it this way. Danzhu would spend his day causing mischief and getting into fights, and he enjoyed ordering people around, making people suffer for his own enjoyment and entertainment. Yeah, your typical rich second generation piece of bleep of a person. Yeah, and floods were quite common occurrences back in the day during Yao's reign, and people often would have to use boats in place of carriages or carts to move around when the waters came in, when the place was flooded. Check out what this waste of oxygen does. Even during times when the floods have subsided, Danzhu would climb into his boat and he would order servants to pull him around on dry land, just to see them suffer. I mean, imagine this, without buoyancy and water and everything, he used manpower to pull a boat on dry land just so he could enjoy seeing people suffer. Like, what? So, in a desperate attempt to temper Danzhu's temper or his character, Yao invented a new game involving black and white stones on a board crisscrossed with 19 horizontal and vertical lines. And this was Weiqi, or I believe in Japan they call it Go. The game that they test AI with, and apparently the humans are losing the computers now. So yeah, this is where that game came from. Yao invented this game to temper his son's temperament and build his character. It was a game that required patience and contemplation and focus. Danzhu was initially fascinated by the game. It was something new, something fresh, and he played it for a while, and gave Yao a bit of a hope that his son might still be salvageable. However, it didn't last. It didn't last long. He soon lost interest in the game, and he was back to causing mischief and mayhem throughout the realm again. Now, by this time, Sun, one of Yao's assistants, although he came from humble stock, he was a commoner. Sun was gaining a lot of respect, and he was held in high regards by the people by this time due to his accomplishments and his contributions. And he had completed 3 years of trials set by Yao and his other advisors, and he showed great virtues and capabilities and had the love and respect of regional leaders and the people alike, much like Yao himself in his younger days. And it was at this time that Yao totally lost confidence in his disappointment of a son. He realized that if he passed the throne to Sun, it would benefit the people at the expense of Danzhu. However, if he passed the throne to Danzhu, it would benefit only Danzhu as an individual at the expense of the entire realm and everyone in it. So after 70 years of rule, Yao abdicated the throne to Sun and exiled Danzhu to the south to never return to court ever again. Now, after abdicating the throne, Yao lived for a further 28 years, serving the kingdom in whatever capacities he could, often traveling through the realm to check on the people and to gather feedback and to get a feel of the ground, to advise Sun on policy and governance. Now, he passed away at the ripe old age of 119. When news of his passing spread, the people throughout the land voluntarily halted all forms of entertainment and merrymaking, and the entire realm went into 3 years of mourning for the greatest ruler the land had ever seen up to that time. And many later Confucian scholars, academics, and historians would argue that Yao was the greatest ruler of China to have ever lived. Now, I hope you enjoyed this story of Yao the Great, or Yao the Great King, the High King, the Sage King. And if you did, it would be a big favor to the channel and myself if you could click like on this video, smash the like button. It will really help with the algorithms. And let's move on to some thoughts and trivials. Now, regarding Yao, if it hasn't been abundantly clear by now, he was considered to be the greatest and most virtuous of rulers of ancient China. Together with Sun, Yu, and Tang that will come later, the four of them would be the benchmark, basically, of all future Chinese emperors throughout history, all the way up to 1911, when the last imperial dynasty fell. Yao, Sun, Yu, Tang is the benchmark. That's it. You can't get better than that. And in fact, I don't think any historians have even ventured to say any future rulers were greater than these four. Now, in the video, we mentioned that Yao set up observation stations throughout the land to observe astrological phenomena. And according to some recent archaeological finds, it seems to have been collaborated. This story seems to have been collaborated. Archaeological works at Taosi in Shanxi dug up this site, which was dated to about 2300 BC to 1900 BC, may have provided some evidence to collaborate this story in the way that there's a sort of an ancient observatory that they have unearthed on this site, and is believed to be the oldest observatory of such kind in East Asia. The timeline and the age of this artifact seems to coincide with the story that we told earlier on. This structure that they found consisted of an outer semi-ring shaped path and a semi-round rammed earth platform with a diameter of about 60 meters across. And it was discovered in 2003 to 2004, around there. And this was believed to be an early observatory, astrological observatory. As mentioned earlier in the story, Yao sent out these four brothers or four clan siblings across the land to observe the astrological phenomena so as to better, document and calculate the passage of time. And the result of this was actually the creation of the first lunisolar calendar, which correctly plots and calculated 365 days to a year. And it also plotted out the solstices and the equinoxes. And for 2300 to 1900 BC, I would say that's pretty darn advanced and scientific. And in fact, this lunisolar calendar is actually still used almost unchanged. There were some updates along the way, but practically almost unchanged. This calendar is used until today. It's what we call the Chinese calendar today, and this calendar can trace its roots all the way back to Yao, circa 2300 BC. Now that's pretty mind-blowing to me, to think about. Now I hope you enjoyed this video and the story, and if you did, please, hit the like button, smash the like button if you like. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please, it will help the channel out a lot if you subscribe and click on the bell icon. Now, in case you didn't know, I am doing this full-time, in between researching the topics, writing out the stories, putting up online on the website, and producing videos like this to share the stories. So yeah, it takes up a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and as you know, maybe you don't, YouTube channels are not monetized until I get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views. So if you can, and if you want to, and you think I deserve it, I have a Patreon page where you can support my work and this channel if you like. There are some supporters already, and I'm so grateful to all of you. You guys are who make this channel possible. So if you'd like to support my work on Patreon, the links are below. If you would like to connect with me, or on any other social media platforms, or check out the stories on the website, the links are below as well. And if you have any feedback or anything you'd like to say to me or to discuss, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Sometimes we have pretty interesting banter going on down there, and I do personally go through the comments and reply to all of them, usually, if I can. So yeah, hope to see you in the comment section. I hope to see you on my other social media sites, and definitely I will see you in the next episode.